All right, yeah. Welcome back to the Subs Fantasy Football Show. It's Corbin and Calvin. Saturday. How was your? Well, we could just start with what you want to talk about. Your dynasty team.
Very close to this. Like if you can get an RB1, fantastic. If you can get a wide receiver one and maybe like a RB3, maybe go for that. But
Wait, so you're
I,
trying to trade him? You think that Justin Fields is just gonna go back?
yeah.
He's look.
Denver is like the great. Zach Wilson might be top 10 quarterback in fantasy this week.
Well, yeah, but they
That's how
played
bad Denver is.
the Commanders and they did well too. Like the Justin Fields.
No, I know. Commanders give up the most big plays in football. So that's
Oh, really?
DJ Moore having that week was kind of expected. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So Denver is the worst defense in football, but that's just like across the board. And
Yeah.
then the other problem is that the Commanders give up the most big plays in football. So like if you can chuck a ball deep and you got a wide receiver who can do that, like a la DJ Moore, then
Yeah.
like start them. The yeah, I just
Justin Fields looked good though. Like some of his throws were like they couldn't have been more perfect of throws to wide receivers in that game. Like DJ Moore's touchdowns, they were like nice throws. Like it wasn't like a he was wide open.
yeah, like you can't have games like he's had in the beginning of the year and then also like the games that he had in the beginning of last year, and I just don't trust that. Like he's got that in him, which is crazy.
Yeah,
You know, if you're an elite player, you don't have swings like that. You know,
he could have
that's
just been
that's more what I'm saying.
he could have just been
Warming up.
warming up. Now he's
Oh,
just in his now he's in his zone now.
sure, but like if you could trade DJ Moore for Stephon Diggs tomorrow, would you do that?
Yes,
Right.
I don't think anybody
That's
would do that though.
100%.
I think you
Would you trade him for Jamar Chase?
no, I would not do that.
Wow. Do you have Jamar Chase in any leagues? I'll send you
I
DJ
do.
Moore.
Not in the league
Uh,
with you though. I think I.
yeah,
Oh wait,
send
maybe I
it.
do. I will do that right now.
Yeah, I will also.
I think we are in a league, but I don't think you have DJ Moore in that league.
Maybe not.
But we played each
Need
other.
to.
We're playing each other in a few leagues this week,
Yep.
and one of the leagues I have Justin Fields and you had DJ Moore, and
Right. I'm projected to crush you.
yeah, but
Yeah.
Justin Fields did great. So like it's not that big of a. I mean, DJ Moore scoring 50 points is nuts, but
Right.
I think it's going to be a lot closer than you projected to win 69%.
I don't know. That team's pretty bad. That's the team you have Jamar Chase in.
Yeah. Oh
So,
yeah. That is the there it is.
all right. So I will be sending you that trade offer on Sunday afternoon
Okay.
or whatever. When's Jamar Chase done? Monday morning. You will have a trade offer from me, DJ Moore for Jamar Chase.
Sounds like a plan.
I've wiped the floor with you. Okay, let's get right into it because I gotta I gotta get ready to go to there's a cow cuddling event that Carly has purchased tickets for us to go to. They have the
Like baby
what are they
cows?
like the no, they're those try looking these up. They're like uh man, Himalayan cows or Irish cows or
I'll just
something.
look up
They're like
cuddling cows.
yeah, they're like
Cow hug therapy.
no, they're like little baby looking cows with like long hair.
Oh. Yeah, these pictures aren't them. Oh, here it is. This has got to be it. That's a
Share it,
terrible
throw it
picture.
up there.
All right, share screen.
Oh, Highland. Highland.
I'm not gonna be able to share my screen. My
Oh,
computer's at max, uh, doing video
they're
chat.
the Highland cows. Here you go.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
those are adorable.
So you get it's 4 hours, 21 and up, drinks and cows, and
Wow.
uh driving for, let's see, an hour and a half to go do this tonight. It's gonna be fun.
Hopefully, you should take an allergy pill. You could be allergic to them.
What? I'm not allergic to that sort of thing. I
You,
did throw my back out, so I won't be picking up any cows. Um,
well, have you been around a cow like that? You could be.
I've been around cows before.
Not furry cows.
Yeah, but like
Like Connor's allergic.
it's like
Connor found
dogs.
out
Like
he's like
people are
allergic.
allergic to dogs.
Oh, maybe. Well,
You
Connor's
know.
allergic to horses. He found that out. Didn't
Yeah,
know
right.
that.
So like if it was a pony versus a big horse versus a Clydesdale, he's probably allergic to all of them.
I
So I'm
know,
gonna just
but
assume I'm not allergic to cows because I've been around cows.
have you been around cows in a while?
Um, yeah, yes, actually,
Huh?
I got a couple customers. I got some cows that I've touched. Had a had a donkey and then a couple of emus.
They look like their face
Touched
looks
them all.
like Toby if Toby was just bigger. That's what their face looks
Hmm.
like.
Yep, they look like emo cows.
Yeah.
They'd be in a boy rock band.
Yeah, they got like a mohawk.
Yeah. The
All right.
Okay, so who's your big winners for tomorrow? You think?
Big winners.
Yep.
Oh man, I had the I hate the Patriots game. I don't want to watch it at all.
Oh,
The Saints and the Patriots, that's going to be bad. The Patriots are so bad. That's my big loser game for this week.
hmm,
Um, I'm excited to see the Falcons play, actually. I think
yeah.
that Bijan could have like a monster game this week.
Yep. The I mean, let's recap like who you had in our little mini draft the other
Oh,
day.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've
I got.
got
Oh, you want to do it?
yep. So you've got Josh Allen as your quarterback. You've got the Cooper Cup or Puka Nakua. You kind of get to pick which one does better. Um, or no, you're doing Puka Nakua if Cooper Cup doesn't play, and then Cooper Cup if he does play.
Yeah.
That's what
But
that was.
they might put him on a snap count, which I think would
Yeah, but we're
be.
talking about if you had them both on your team, you got to make the call. So either
I mean, I'd
you're
probably
doing
play
Puka
both
Nakua
of them.
or yikes. Okay. Uh, Fine. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So then you can have both of their points divided by 1.5.
By 1.5.
Um,
I
I guess
if
you could divide it by two.
so it's just one of the players.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's their average. It's their average.
Uh.
So that way, if you played two, actually no, never mind. It doesn't matter. You get to pick one,
Yeah.
but it's whichever one does better. You can have a best ball between the two. In comparison, I have Justin Jefferson,
Yep.
so that'll be nice. And then I've also got so then you've got McCaffrey as your running back, and then Garrett Wilson as your flex, which you know I think could do well.
Yep.
For my running back, I grabbed Stephon Diggs to kind of combat your Josh Allen. Um, and then I've got Justin Jefferson as my flex. And then I got David Montgomery, who could be even more valuable if Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't play, which is looking like he's not.
Oh,
Um,
and you have Daniel Jones.
and then I got Daniel Jones, who had a long time to think about how bad he was.
And how he's just going to be benched.
That was pretty atrocious. I mean, I see that as like his offensive line let him get murdered.
Yeah.
There was guys just going. There was guys on the left side of his offensive line that looked like they tried to do something like blocking somebody, but the guy just like runs right past him, and then it's Daniel Jones's blind side. He just gets crushed.
It's so
Um,
great. Like, I gotta pay. I mean, I paid more attention to offensive lines this year, but like,
yeah,
I should not have drafted the Bengals. Any Bengal. Like, their
right,
offensive
right.
line's bad.
Well, they dropped really big this year, and they were already bad, and
Yeah.
so like that's also like you look at how much better Justin Herbert is this year.
Yeah.
Offensive line got a lot better, you
Yep.
know. So, um, okay, I've got some write-in questions actually. If you want to run through those real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Um, this is from Toot My Own Horn 23. I am commissioner of a league for newbies. I run this league to help new people learn the joys of fantasy football. I have a second year player who got second place last year who dropped T. Higgins simply to make space on her roster for someone coming off of IR. Should I, as commissioner, reverse this, or should I let it ride for the sake of letting these newbies make their own decisions and learn how to play fantasy football the hard way?
Did the person, like, message you and be, or message the commissioner and say, I didn't mean to do that, or I shouldn't have done that? Or are you just, as a commissioner?
Nothing. I don't know. You know, we don't know, but let's assume they didn't. Let's assume that there's no message in, but the commissioner saw it.
Yeah.
Should they reach out to that player and ask if that was a mistake? Um, it's seemingly not.
I think,
Uh,
I
it
think,
looks like the player went through their team and said, "Hey, I have to bring this person off of IR," and decided that T. Higgins was the one that got the boot.
who got off, did they say who got off IR?
They don't say who got off IR.
Oh,
Let's
man.
assume it's like, okay, so who do we know that's coming off of IR?
Cooper Cup,
Or
Jonathan
or
Taylor.
who could be coming out of the IR spot? So it's Cooper Cup, Jonathan Taylor. Um, I think Saquon Barkley's status changed from out to uncertain.
Is,
So any of those guys,
yeah, and then, oh, man.
Waddle, I think
Steelers.
Waddle,
Steelers guy.
Pat Fryermuth,
No, the Deontay
Deontay
Johnson.
Johnson.
Is he back?
I don't. No, I don't think so. Um,
I don't know. I don't know. That's tough. I feel like it's on them to reach out to the commissioner more than like the
to reach out
commissioner
to the
looking out.
player.
Yeah. No, no.
Okay,
The player should reach out to the commissioner. I don't think the
gotcha.
commissioner has a responsibility. I don't know. But I don't know because then the commissioner, if he's the if he's the seasoned player and picks up T Higgins, that would be kind of
Right,
scummy.
right, right, right. So yeah, an interesting one. Sorry, buddy, but it looks like you just let it ride. So that's our ruling. You let it ride.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I
okay,
think. Like a lot of commissioners should do is just unless it's a collusion or absolute, um, yeah, I think just collusion or doesn't make any sense at
right.
all. That's when you do something
I
about it.
I agree. I mean, that's how I commission typically is. Uh, I set up the league. I stop collusion, and I receive everybody's complaints and pretend like I feel bad for them.
Yeah,
And then I tell everybody go get the votes, and I'll make the change. But it's got to be a decision from the league,
there was
which usually means it's not happening because
yeah,
not everybody pays attention in the league.
there was one I heard from a podcast where the people somebody wrote in because they heard somebody doing a deal where they would give them money to get a trade through, like in real life. And they're like,
Yep,
and they're new to
that's
fantasy
collusion.
football, and they're like, can you even do that?
Yep, that would be collusion, baby. Um, okay, second question from George Costanza's doppelganger. I am 3-1 in my league, and I have Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor about to be activated off of IR. Should I try and trade one of them this week for a wide receiver one and an RB2, or should I keep them both and ride it out?
Oh, I would not trade Christian McCaffrey.
Well, you wouldn't trade them for. Okay, let's say somebody offered you Justin Jefferson and Alvin Kamara. Would you trade McCaffrey for that?
Oh man, I don't know. Like Christian McCaffrey is just he's got to be the number one fantasy player this year, like by far. And
I'm not sure, but it just off the cuff. I mean, that's one that you would consider, right?
yeah,
Um, what about like Diggs and Bijan Robinson for McCaffrey?
yeah, I would do
I mean,
that.
those are trades that like you would do, you know. So, uh,
But then you're relying
or
on
even
Jonathan
like
Taylor.
well, you're relying on Jonathan Taylor, plus you are getting back in, an RB2, like a R like RB13 through
Yeah,
16 maybe is what you're shooting for. So like maybe you go for Kenneth Walker and you know I mean one that I think maybe so like I'd rather trade Jonathan Taylor, right? If you
yeah.
could trade Jonathan Taylor for like well Kamara and any even a wide receiver,
I think you
back
have
end
to do two,
number
like wide
one.
receiver two. I don't think you could trade
Yeah.
just Jonathan Taylor for something really good right now.
Yeah. So maybe you go like Michael Pittman and Damian Pierce for
Yeah,
Jonathan Taylor. Um so yeah, so I would agree. I wouldn't trade McCaffrey, but I'd try to flip Taylor before even if it's a one for one, somebody that's a known, starter.
yeah.
Um, because it sounds like you're already in a good spot too. So the rest of your team's pretty decent to be 3-1. Um,
So what about after this week? If Jonathan Taylor does well, are you still trying to trade
th-
him?
no, then I think you're looking at it like, okay, I've got two potentially top five running backs rest of the year. That's unstoppable,
Yeah,
you know. And then you throw wide receivers in every other position. If however many flex you have, you go all wide receivers, and one of them will have a
uh,
boom game, and then you're gonna get 20 to 40 points from each of those guys. Your quarterback could be uh,
Brock Purdy.
Matthew Stafford, and you'd be winning. Brock Purdy's doing great fantasy wise.
Yeah, he's super.
The
He just consistently gets the same thing every week.
Okay, here's the third one. It is from not CJ or Andrew 69. I am I am 1-3 in my dynasty team. What value should I expect to give up for getting first round draft picks?
Um, Not Bijan Robinson.
Yeah. The
Ugh. What do you think?
yes.
What do you, Bijan Robinson? There's not gonna be a running back like him for a while in the drafts. I don't think.
I mean, I don't so like I don't think that's true. I think that next year, the year after, there's always going to be like some rookie that comes in and everybody's enamored with. Jonathan Taylor was 2 years ago, or I guess 3 years ago at this point. You know,
But he
so they
wasn't.
come.
Or I don't know. I don't know about fantasy, but I know he wasn't like a
Yeah,
high end
no,
draft.
here's a big deal. Here's a big deal.
Was
Um,
he?
yeah, I don't think anybody knew that Indianapolis's offensive line was going to be as good as it was. But you have guys that come in, and then you have busts. Like you could end up. So you're referencing my trade where I traded two first rounds in 2024 and two first rounds in 2025 for Bijan Robinson,
Yeah.
um, and I gave up according to like trade charts probably too much, right? But I'm also my team is built in this dynasty league to be a contender this year now easily. Um, but also for the next 3 years, I will probably be a high placing team. So, um, you know, giving up those draft picks that I had or acquired from other trades that I had done, I've managed that league expertly. Um,
Yeah.
so
I'm just
the
I'm looking
for
at
me, it was worth it.
the last years of the drafts of running
Yep.
backs, and 2017 is probably the best year out of all the other years. But most of them, it's like one or two are Bijan level running backs.
Um,
So maybe I guess it is pretty consistent. There has been really good running backs everywhere.
right. So
Besides, I don't
yeah,
know. Yeah, I feel like he's better
but
than a lot of them though. Like 2021 was
my
bad.
my thing is that like I didn't have any draft picks this year. I had traded them all away every single round. Um, I prefer if I can to give up draft value for starters. So like I have an offer out that is it's a first and a third for Derrick Henry and Brandon Ayuk. Um, and Derrick Henry looks like this might be his last year, as anything close to what he's been traditionally, right? It looks like he'll probably be out of their system next year, and he'll be kind of Dalvin Cook next year.
Yeah,
And then Brandon Ayuk is kind of a hit or miss third year wide receiver, and so I'm okay giving up that first round pick for that. In the third round is basically a dart throw, because I could win the league this year, and
yeah,
then Brandon Ayuk could help me win the league next year, and so could they help me more than my potential bust draft pick that I would be taking? I don't watch college football, so it's not like I'm keeping up with teams to be like, oh, this guy's going to be phenomenal.
yeah.
Um, so I'd
And
rather give up the value.
I think it's your position that you're in as well. Like you're in a position to win rather than rebuild.
Right. So I think so. So to answer their question, I think that if you are trying to get draft picks, then to get first round picks, I think you are looking at having to give up a an older RB1, a wide receiver, probably back end wide receiver one or older wide receiver one. So like you could probably trade Keenan Allen for a first round rookie pick if your team stinks, and
Yeah, and you
to like Keenan Allen is like you're just waiting for him to like if you could trade Adam Thielen for a first round pick to like the
that
team
would
that's
be
contending that's got Adam
yeah.
Thielen, then that's awesome. That's a steal, right? Um, but if you could get like if you have Diggs, would you trade him for a first round pick? Your team's like a absolute. Let's say you got Diggs, but you have nobody at quarterback. You've got Desmond Ritter and Mac Jones, and maybe you got Justin Fields or something where you just keep losing because he's all over the place, right? And
Yeah.
then um, you got Dalvin Kincaid as your tight end. So you're not winning games, but maybe you're hopeful there. And then you've got like Zay Flowers and Quentin Johnston and uh, Jordan Addison are your other wide receivers, right? Um, do you give up Diggs to get that first round pick in hopes that, hey, I don't know how much longer Diggs is going to be the number one. A contender might give up Diggs and maybe you could get like Diggs and Romeo Dobbs, or um, maybe one of the like Tajee Spears looks like he's the heir apparent to Derrick Henry. You throw him in there. Is that the kind of value that you think should be expected, or do you think that's too high?
for a first round.
Yep.
Um, I mean, if you're rebuilt, I don't know. It's so tough because yeah, I would try to get like a young wide receiver or quarter or even a quarterback if you have bad quarterbacks because even if Caleb Williams is like the 1-1, you still don't know how he's going to do in the NFL. Like, there's been so many
Right.
quarterbacks that just,
Like Bryce Young.
yeah.
Yep.
So it's
Like
so
Zach Wilson.
risky. It's such a risky thing to,
Sam Darnold.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely would. I mean, I'd probably do that. Like, if I was contending, I would definitely do a first easily. I think I'd easily give up a first for Stephon Diggs. So I think you get more.
Right.
You'd get more out of it than just a first.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I agree. Like from the perspective of somebody that's tanking though, you also are not trying to win those games. So you're okay with like dumping some of your better players for future um like maybe you give up Diggs for
I
uh
was thinking like Tank Dell or Nico Collins or
right,
with a first or something like that.
right. Yep. Yeah. Same.
Or you could try to get the first round of the person that is tanking, but doesn't realize they don't have their own first round pick.
Yep. Right. Yeah.
Yikes!
That's also reference to my trade.
Yeah,
Um yep. That was a good trade.
yeah, that is a good trade.
I will soundly win that league now. Um,
Maybe.
I don't. I'm just gonna list out this team just so your maybe it sounds more blasphemy than it is the casual maybe you just sent out. So Josh Allen is my quarterback. QB1 rest of the year, absolutely, no question.
Anthony
Uh,
Richardson.
Bijan Robinson, David Montgomery, Kenneth Walker are my three main running backs. And then I also have Rashad White, um, and Alvin Kamara and Zach Moss. Really hoping Jonathan Taylor's broken. Um, and then at wide receiver, I've got Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, Stephon Diggs, and then there is a decent drop off where I've got Tutu Atwell and
Tyler Boyd.
I don't even know who else. Yeah, Tyler Boyd. I've got Deontay Johnson in IR, J.K. Dobbins in IR, and then um, I've got Jerome Ford as well. So I just, you know, in a dynasty league, I have people that would be flex starters on other people's teams just on my bench.
Yeah.
Um, and I just don't know that it's a what is it 10-team league with a I don't know 35-person rosters. So slim pickings out there. Those teams that are in last in that league are going to be rebuilding for years.
Yeah.
You're one of those teams.
Whoa. My team's not that bad.
Your team is, let's see, you're in 7th place,
Yeah.
and like deservedly because your points forward are really low.
I did the. They're not really low. I'm like 50 behind 3-1
Yeah, but
teams.
you are 7th in points forward, and you're not tanking. Those other teams are tanking.
Points. I don't even know what that's scored, right?
Yep. Do you need something? That's for you. Yeah, I already. Um, like your team is You got Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence. Like you should probably trade Trevor Lawrence. You know, if you can get value for that. Really, you could probably trade Russell Wilson to a contender. And then ETN has probably been a huge disappointment for you this year,
Yep.
but coming off an injury, I mean that's to be expected. Aaron Jones has been a disaster. You got Tony Pollard, who's great, but um, outside of that, your RB production is not great. Uh, you had a big trade for Garrett Wilson in the offseason.
Yep. That's
What'd you
not
trade
working
him
out.
for?
Stephon
Oh, you
Diggs.
traded Stephon Diggs and 2 first-round picks
Yep.
for Garrett Wilson. Okay, so today I call you up and I go, hey, I'll give you 2 first-round picks for Garrett Wilson. You taking that?
No. No.
Really?
No.
Really?
Not a chance.
Interesting.
I
Okay.
do not.
Um,
I'm in the same boat as you with draft picks. Like, I'd rather get
yeah.
players than draft people.
You got Goddard, who's been really disappointing this year,
Yeah.
and then you've got Cooper Cup, which I'm surprised you haven't traded him yet.
I'm not trading him. I'm just riding him
Oh,
out till he's dead. I'm not going to trade
because
Cooper Cup.
your team's not a contending team,
No, it's not.
right? So it's surprising that you wouldn't try to trade him before he gets off IR because you don't know if he's going to be okay or not, or get instantly re-injured.
I see. I
And
don't.
you could send him, you could send him
Cooper
to like Wooly
Cooper Cup's just
for.
been consistent. Like when he plays, he's incredible. It's not. It's not like
I know it's not a matter of talent; it's a matter of father time.
Yeah, I don't think it's this year though. I don't think it's he's
Would
fallen
you
off this year.
would you trade him for? Would you trade him for CD Lamb?
I don't know. That's tough.
Not tough.
It is.
You would get declined in a heartbeat.
I don't. I would. I would rather have Cup. I think.
I know you would, but you're not a contending team. So what's he gonna be for you this year?
I'm not contending. I could easily go on a winning streak, and then I get to the
No, because
playoffs.
even if you insert Pup into your team, you have you have almost 500 fantasy points on the year versus the top two teams have over 600. So you're 100 points behind. So even if Cooper Cup was 20 points a game, which would be phenomenal, right? And like that is Puka Nakua doesn't exist numbers to me, right? So 20 points a game, you would still only be in fifth place.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't. I don't think points scored is that good of a thing to look at because there's just so many outlier games that people have of score. Like you had DJ Moore score 50 points this week. Like that's not going to happen consistently.
Sure, but I'm also in first place. So like that's what I mean is like that's a good when you add those two things together and you go, oh, because if you were like, hey, I'm in seventh place, but I have the third most points scored in the league and I have the most points scored against me, that's different. But
Yeah,
you are in seventh place with the third least points scored against you. So like if you took that and you put it next to mine, which is I have the most points scored against me and I'm still in first. That's more the like that's how I would gauge if a team is a contender or not.
yeah.
If you had the points scored against me against you, oh wow, Josh Kessler has 689 points scored against him.
That's
He
insane.
has played essentially the best team every single week.
That's brutal.
Like his team to me is more of a contender than yours because of that. Because there was no
Because
way he was going to
he's
win the
just
games.
unlucky.
Right, right. Like because that's what you're saying. You're saying, hey, what if I go on a streak? Cooper Cups comes back and I go on a streak. You're asking for luck.
I'm
Where
not.
like from my perspective, I'm saying My team is going to win the championship outside of something bad happening to me.
I'm saying my team
It's-
will go up in points scored when Cooper Cup comes back, and I think people that I've had have been underperforming, and they'll perform better. Like statistically, previous seasons, a lot of my people should be scoring more than they are, and I think they will.
yeah, but they're not going to score enough.
Maybe I don't know. I think they will. Like Garrett Wilson looks like he's gotten more targets every week since Zach Wilson's been the quarterback.
Sure,
He'll go
but
up.
let's talk about who your other people are though. So you got Zach Wilson, or you got Garrett Wilson. Cool.
Yeah.
You're also starting Jaden Reed.
Yes.
You are also starting Calvin Austin,
Yep.
and you are also starting Jalen Warren and Aaron Jones injured. And it's not because you think they're going to do great. It's because you have no other options.
yeah. No, my team's not that great.
Right. So what I'm saying is Cooper Cup being 45 in his last, like if he gets injured again in his first few games and then misses the rest of the season, his value goes from maybe you could get like Nico Collins and Tajay Spears or uh, Tank Dell and Calvin Ridley or Kirk, maybe Christian Kirk or something. Go Christian Kirk and Tank Dell for Cooper Cup, where you can start to build for your future. Instead, you're like, nah, I want to finish in fifth place this year and then next year be the worst team in the league.
No. I can't give
That's
up
the
Cooper
perspective
Cup.
that I,
I can't do it.
right, that's wild to me.
And I was just everybody's flex positions are not good players. Yours aren't
Mine are good players.
yours aren't good either.
Mine are very good.
You had Zach Moss and Tutu Atwell and Alvin Kamara.
Zach Moss will potentially change out, but I also have some of my best players are on bye this week.
Yeah, you have
Like
Rashad White and Jerome Ford.
and Kenneth Walker and Jerome Ford are all on bye this week.
Yeah,
Right. Like Tyler Boyd is better than three of your starters, and he's on my bench.
I don't think that's accurate. Tyler Boyd is dead. Yeah, I'll have to think about. I'll have to think about that. And I don't think I'm gonna trade. I'm not gonna trade Cooper Cup until he does well because I'm not gonna get anything that I think I deserve.
I don't think so. Just like okay, so let's say you're a contender, all right? Let's say you have my team, but it's you, all right? And I offer you Cooper Cup, and I want you to give me Deontay Johnson and Rashad White and Jerome Ford.
No,
Would you do that?
no,
You wouldn't do it.
no. Jerome Ford
So,
is gonna get replaced next year. There's no way he's gonna
no, no,
be.
no. I'm saying you have my team. You have my team. So somebody offers you Cooper Cup for Rashad White,
Oh yeah, I'm
Deontay
taking
Johnson.
Cooper Cup easily.
Right, right, right. And that is like, so then you're getting Rashad White, who maybe be an RB2 for 2 more years, right?
No,
And then
I
you've
don't
got,
want those players. I want Cooper Cup. That's what I'm saying.
I know that. So you're saying, hey, I don't think I'm going to get value for Cooper Cup, right? But in a dynasty league, getting three starters for one maybe gonna play this year person to a team that's tanking is a lot of value. That's a ton of value.
I don't understand what you're. I'm saying I'd rather have Cooper Cup there.
I know that's because so I'm saying like if you didn't have Cooper Cup today, right, and I was a team that was tanking, I could trade him to you and you would overpay for him.
Yes, but I don't think that's overpaying.
Right.
I think those players that you're trading
I
are
know.
bad.
Exactly. That's the reason you don't think it's overpaying is why it's overpaying. Because otherwise you wouldn't do it.
Deontay, yeah, I I would,
You're so like it's a dynasty league. You're gonna be stuck with your team next year,
yeah.
right? Cooper Cup is like at best in a redraft league next year, a fourth round pick, fifth round pick next year.
Yes, right now,
Right. No,
but
no, it doesn't matter right now because you're not a contender. I'm saying next year, no matter what, he's gonna miss the first 4 games. He might miss the first 5 games, right? From a hamstring injury. And last year he also missed that amount of time. Like, do you remember this guy named Julio Jones?
yes,
Right. Yep.
I'm
Do
saying
you remember
right now,
all of them?
right now you if you did a redraft right now, Cooper Cup would be fourth, fifth round. But you don't know what the rest of the season's gonna look like, and he could end up being.
It
Um,
does. I don't care. I don't care if he's Cooper Cup from 2 years ago for the rest of this year. Next year, he's not in the first round.
you don't think if he's the
Absolutely
Cooper
not.
Cup from 2 years ago, rest of the
Where
year he's.
where did where where Keenan Allen go this year?
I don't remember where he went. He went
Like sixth and seventh round. He's
really.
like in the Mike Evans space too. Where did Mike Evans go?
Yeah, he went
And
late too.
those are two of the top 10 receivers in the league this year, right?
Yeah,
But that's the value that they get when they are typically like, oh, they just turned 30. Keenan Allen's 32. Mike Evans is 31. So like Cooper Cup's value next year, especially being as injury prone as he is, where Mike Evans is not, and Keenan Allen the last few years has been, but the
he really hasn't been injury prone though. That's what he's just had this ankle injury and the hamstring injury the past year.
2 injuries this year.
Yes.
Right.
I don't know. I think I would wait and see how he does. I think he's gonna do well, and I think that's when you trade him. I don't think you try getting garbage from people like Deontay
Yeah,
Johnson's
but okay, let's say he's doing well. Who would you trade for Keenan Allen right now?
in a dynasty league.
Yeah, you're a contender. Who would you trade for Keenan Allen?
If you're a contender and you want Keenan Allen, I'd trade young wide receivers or a draft pick. Same thing
Give
as
me, give me, give me an actual like trade offer.
um, if I'm contending, I'd give first round and Drake London.
Okay, and then let's say somebody offered you that for Cooper Cup. Would you take that?
If I'm contending,
No, no, no. You have Cooper Cup. You're tanking.
yeah,
You would take Drake London and a first round pick.
no, I wouldn't.
Right, right, right. Because you're delusional on Cooper Cup. That's why.
I,
That's why. Like, if you didn't have him, somebody could totally fleece you on that trade.
no, I don't think I don't like draft picks. That's why I would get rid of a draft pick for a good player.
Okay, let's say they were giving you like Drake London and Zay Flowers, who looks like he's a good wide receiver who was a first round draft pick this year.
Oh, I can't remember. I'd rather have like Drake London and Jordan Addison.
Fine. So that trade comes to you for Cooper Cup right now. You giving him up?
I would I would consider that one more than a first round pick.
Right, but your team's bad too. That's the thing that you're not discounting that. Like if you don't trade Cooper Cup this year, you're not getting Drake London and Jordan Addison. You're getting Quentin Johnston and uh, Keandre Miller.
I will throw out trades like that for Cooper Cup right now. I don't think those are going to happen. I think he has to do well.
Like on my team, right? I know, but what I'm saying is that it's two sides, right? So there's my side who go Cooper Cup is garbage, hot trash, like use them to warm your hands and fuel food for the next day, right?
Yeah.
You look at him as uh the like it's the Mona Lisa. It's gonna have value forever, and I want to hold on to it with everything that I
I
have,
mean, just look
right?
at
And I'm gonna
Puka
protect it.
Nakua, dude. Puka Nakua, anyone who plays where Cooper Cup's playing is just does well.
I right, but we're talking about Matthew Stafford. This could be his last year. We thought this year might have been his last year, so that's one thing that's your possible problem. Your other problem is you have Puka Nakua, who is younger and faster and just as good as Cooper Cup.
I'm aware. I'm not saying I'm not trading Cooper Cup. I'm saying I'm waiting till he does well to trade him because I'm gonna get more value
I'm
out of him, and I think he
right,
will
and
do
it's
well
just like but it's just like so like you're doing the reverse of why you don't like draft picks. So you don't like draft picks because you don't know if they're going to do well or not, right?
because I haven't
Some
seen
people
them play
love
before.
some people love draft picks, right? Like Andrew loves draft picks in our league. Loves draft picks. Terrible drafter, terrible team. Right? Ooh, I could get somebody like Kyle Pitts and nobody cares, right? So like so then also there are people who are oh, Jonathan Taylor's about to come off IR. Oh, Jameson Williams is about to come off of his suspension. Oh, Cooper Cup is about to come off of IR. I can get a quote unquote deal, right? And send these values on the gamble that Cooper Cup is going to be Cooper Cup for the rest of the year and maybe next year and definitely not past that. So, like, that's the person that you try to trade with. You try to go, who is like maybe Luke is that person in our league. Maybe well, Connor's definitely that person. Connor's the full blown gambler of I'll take the big risk, right? Some of the trades that he sent me, although maybe I should have, maybe I'm good to have declined them, but he really wanted David Montgomery, uh, you know, early before the season started. Um, some people really wanted DeAndre Swift before the season started.
Yeah,
Stuff
Connor.
like that. Like everybody's got those little things that they're like, oh man, if I could have him, and they kind of you always hype those people up more than what's really going to happen typically because it's fantasy football. Nobody knows, right?
Yeah,
It was like right now, I think Austin Eckler has the most value that he would possibly have for the rest of the season. Right now, he hasn't played, but his first game, he was the best wide running back. Mike Williams goes down. That team needs Austin Eckler, and he will have a ton of fantasy. Or, like happens all the time, he's going to come back a little too early from his injury, pull his hamstring again, and then be out for 6 weeks. And then you got 5 total weeks of Austin Eckler for a haul that somebody, you know, sent over to you because they're a contender and they want to throw that at somebody.
yeah,
That's that's where I think Cooper Cup is right now.
yeah. But you just argued that we don't know. We both don't know, and it could be either way.
I know, but what I'm saying, your inconsistency is that you like that gamble, but you don't like the first round pick gamble.
Yeah, that's where I have seen the player play actually in the NFL, and I have no idea about these draft picks that I'm drafting. And
Right.
they could
I
look good in college, but are terrible in the NFL. That's what I don't like
I
about
know,
draft picks.
but you also have like when people get injured and they come back, you like give me some guys that have done super well in the past, especially when they're missing this much time.
Oh, um, I can't.
J.K. Dobbins.
no, no, not a good
Oh,
example.
Brees Hall.
He still could do well. Like he's not.
Oh, he could, but he hasn't.
That's because he
So
hasn't played that. This is his second year playing. Um,
Javonte Williams.
no,
Oh,
DeAndre Swift.
no.
Yeah,
I would say no.
David
Like
Montgomery.
like David Montgomery wasn't hurt
2 years ago he was hurt. He's great now.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
2 years last year he was fine.
last year it was
Last year he
fine.
was not good though. He was not good in fantasy football though.
Yeah, so there's still in dynasty that the player doesn't do that well the next year, but then the year following he does well.
So you're playing for Cooper Cup next year?
But that's those are running backs. I can't think of a wide receiver that's been hurt that comes back and doesn't do well. I can't think of any right
Chase
now.
Claypool.
Chase Claypool is terrible at football.
Oh, but he got hurt and he was great before that.
No, he wasn't. He's never been good. He's just had
He
like
was pretty good
he's just
on
like
the
Gabe
Steelers.
Davis. He's just Gabe Davis
Gabe
gets
Davis was hurt last year.
gets big plays. That's it.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Chris Godwin was hurt last year. Not been great this year.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing. The anyways, Cooper Cup. Sell.
I
Austin Eckler, sell him.
I am, but not. I'm not selling him before he plays. I think I would get way less value out of him, and that's a gamble, I guess. But
All right, what else you got for me?
I mean, that was like an hour of us talking about that stuff. So
Are we good?
yeah, that's good.
Okay, cool.
That was our dynasty podcast right there. Talking
Dynasty
about
block.
talking about dynasty values and not. It is interesting that we have similar philosophies and also opposite in the same vein. Like we both don't like draft picks,
Right.
but also
I hate old players.
you hate old
Old,
players.
old. I hate old players. You like old players?
But you don't like draft picks, which is odd.
No, I like second year, third year.
Yeah,
Like I even struggle with Stephon Diggs right now.
I
Like
know.
I have him in some leagues, and I'm like
That's why I was
itching to get rid
surprised.
of him.
Oh, I mean, I gave you 2 first rounds for him. I guess that's good enough
Maybe
value.
so. Maybe the other thing too is that I know what it's like to turn 30 and the disaster that your body becomes once you hit 30 and you don't yet. And so you're like, oh, like I stepped off my front porch, right, and pulled my calf from that step, which then when I landed, threw my back out.
Yeah, and
That's what happens when you're in your 30s.
yeah,
And like debilitated.
you're not
I have
getting
to be on like muscle relaxers to walk.
and you're not getting hit by 280-pound people all the
Right,
time.
right.
Yeah,
But I could have done a front flip off of my front porch at 26 and been fine.
yeah,
No injuries. So that's what I'm saying is like there's just like the deterioration of your body, especially when you've been in the league that long, and all of that is just it's incredible. It's like no amount of steroids will recover you from that.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you for watching. We'll be back um, Monday, possibly recap Sunday's
Yep.
games and talk about something else.
Talk about what's our bet that we're doing? We're
Oh
supposed to
yeah,
come up with that.
I cannot think of something. Ooh, um, I don't know how big of a thing this would be for you, but I know you always have a goatee. What if you have to be clean shaven for like 2 weeks?
I'll do it for a month if
A month?
you cut your hair
Oh no, no
to
way.
lesbian short.
That's way two different things. Yours will
No, no,
grow
no. I've
back
had to
in
go.
yours will grow back in 2 weeks. Mine will take years to grow back.
Sure, but like I've had a goatee for 5 years now.
Ooh. What about oh, I don't want to go. We should do some like extreme ones for end of year, like get like a ear pierced or something like that. Not
Let's
for
do a
this
tattoo. I'll do a tattoo for end of year.
end of year,
Yep.
like a thigh tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got to think of something for this week, though. I don't know what this week would be. Um, man, how about a eyebrow slash? Like you just
That could be permanent.
can it?
So no.
Eyebrows
Yeah.
don't grow
Some-
back.
Sometimes they don't grow back.
Ooh,
Yeah. Right. Um. Okay. You got Do you have your Halloween costume picked out for a Halloween party?
no, no.
Let's do. Well, pick one. What are you thinking about? I thought you were gonna be like one of the wizards from Clash of Clans.
Yeah, I haven't done any. I haven't done anything yet. Mom was thinking I could go as like Toto from Wizard of Oz, like go as a dog.
You could do that too, but
Yeah,
you should just be like a wizard of some kind.
yeah.
Um, because I was gonna say you could like actually get your hair dyed for whatever color it needs to be for your character, like not just like a temporary paint, but like
Oh,
actually dye your hair.
jeez.
You know, it'll get out like in 3 weeks or whatever, or like a
Yeah.
month or whatever. But like we'll go to the box store and I'll like get the like gloves and I'll rub it in your hair on that Thursday night, and
I'd
your
do
hair will
that.
be that color. But you gotta pick so like because I'm gonna be the Ice King, so mine's gonna be white,
Yeah.
you know, and so I'll be dyeing my hair white.
You're not gonna wear like a wig.
No, I got this wax paste that actually turns my hair pretty white.
So you'd actually dye it white.
I'll dye it white. Yep.
Okay. So I'll pick like a blonde or like a weird hair color wizard. I'll find
Something
one.
that's far off from yours.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Okay.
That's yeah. Let's do that. I think he froze. Well, thank you for watching. This was the South Stands Football Podcast, and I hope you have a good weekend.